All right, hello, welcome back. We're gonna review a low incline dumbbell bench. And by that, if you have a flat bench, typically that incline is gonna be like 45 degrees. I only want it up like 1 or 2 notches. So in between kind of a traditional flat and an incline. Okay, so a low incline. I don't have an incline bench, so I'll be doing a flat bench, which is a perfectly fine substitute. The other thing you could do is if you had like one of those big exercise balls, the Swiss balls, you could kind of lean up against that if you wanted, as long as that was supported against the wall. Not ideal. The other thing you could do is be on the ground in a bridge position, okay? And you're gonna do like a floor dumbbell bench press. The biggest thing with any kind of bench press, kind of 2 things, is that it is a compound movement. So we wanna make sure that we're using our full body, and by that I mean using our legs and our glutes, so review that. The other thing is that we wanna make sure to protect our shoulder joints, okay? Because our shoulders are the most exposed, kind of loose joint in our whole body, because there's only 4 little muscles, your rotator cuff muscle, that are kind of keeping that shoulder joint there. Where everywhere else we kind of have like a bony structure that's helping to support the joint itself. Shoulder doesn't have that. So just really make sure that we get those shoulders in a nice packed position to protect them. So what I mean by that is, if we think about our shoulder blades, I actually want to kind of take my shoulder blade and bring it down and back towards my opposite pocket. So I want to take this right shoulder blade, bring it down and back towards my left pocket, left shoulder blade down and back towards my right pocket. So from the back, okay, I'm taking them, packing them kind of down and back. Versus here, I'm not just retracting them, right? They're coming down and back. So I want to get them kind of underneath my rib cage or my thoracic spine a little bit, okay? The other thing is I want to make sure that I'm using my glutes. So when I go to bench press or dumbbell press, whatever it is, the weight off of my chest, I actually want to think about that I'm driving my feet down, right? So I'm driving my feet down, and as if I was going to slide myself up on the bench. So that motion is a down and kind of out, but my feet aren't leaving the ground, okay? And I'm gonna time that with the weight driving off of my chest, okay? So I'm gonna show you from this angle first, because I wanna make sure you can see where my elbows are, because I want those elbows 45 degrees to the rib cage, not out nice and wide, because again, that's gonna expose the shoulder joint. 45 degrees is gonna allow me to get my shoulders nice and packed, right? And in a safe position, and that's the same angle that you're gonna want when you do a bench press. Cool? So, right, I'm here, I'm gonna pack my shoulder blades down and back, okay? My feet are nice and flat, I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. I'm gonna think about pulling those dumbbells down. Elbows are 45 degrees to the rib cage. Dumbbells stay slightly above your chest. I'm gonna drive down and out with my feet through my glutes as I drive the weight off my chest. Take my big breath in at the top, pull the weights down, drive off, breathing out. Okay, again, big breath in at the top, pull those weights down, drive up, breathing out. So again, we don't want flat shoulders and we don't want them out here. See the difference there, right? And we don't want those dumbbells to come too low. Again, I'm exposing that shoulder joint way too much. Okay, so from the side, you'll see that I create a little bit of an arch. Again, that's to protect my shoulder joint. Perfectly fine to create an arch because we're not axial loading the spine with weight, so it's super safe, okay? So I'm here. Again, I'm gonna walk those shoulder blades down. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, no pancake ass. I'm gonna walk those feet back, but keep them nice and flat. I'm gonna take my big breath in. I'm gonna pull the weights down, keeping them hovering right above my chest. I'm gonna drive through my feet, through my glutes. Breathing out as I'm pressing up. Down. Breathe out as you press up. Okay? It is the same exact positioning when you're on that low incline or an incline bench itself. You're just sitting more upright, but you're still packing those shoulders down. Your feet are planted. You're driving through your feet, squeezing your glutes as you're driving that chest or that weight off your chest. Okay? Same thing. So, let me show you a 3-point supinated row. I'll show you first from the side. So supinated row just means that our palm is facing forward, okay, versus palm facing back or facing, in towards you, okay? Same thing, before you go to row, I want you to make sure that shoulders packed down and back. We don't want it here, okay? So shoulders packed down and back. I'm gonna row towards my hip and kind of open the shoulders slightly at the top. Because what I don't want is for this to occur, right? I'm just gonna grind out the front of that shoulder. So shoulders down and back, right? I'm gonna pull towards that hip and kind of open slightly up at the top. So, right? So from here, again, shoulders down and back, core is engaged. I'm gonna row up towards my hip, opening my shoulder joint, okay? Shoulder stays down and back, row up towards that hip, opening the shoulder at the top. Same thing if my palm was facing me, right, for a typical row, same exact movement, okay? Really squeezing that shoulder blade together in the back. What I don't want is this. See this a lot. See how the front of my shoulder is just driving forward? No bueno. Pack it down. Big breath in. Row towards your hip. Open the shoulder at the top. Same thing if my palm's facing forward. Same exact movement. Back is nice and flat, not rounded. Cool? Okay, let's talk about a lunge. So, keep honing it in because it's super important. When we do a lunge, we got to pay attention to that front knee position. We don't want that knee to cave in. So what it looks like, right, would be like this. All right, see my front knee drive in and then out, okay? If balance is a thing, you can go a little bit wider. Think of like if this was the lane in the road, you're on either side of it, okay? Right? But you just really want to make sure that that knee is tracking again over that third and fourth toe and not caving in across midline. So corkscrew, but make sure when you corkscrew, okay, that the motion's not coming from your foot lifting up, right? So I'm gonna corkscrew, I'm gonna hinge forward slightly more so I can get more glute activation, right? And then I'm gonna lunge down and then back up, okay? We wanna think about that back leg kind of dropping underneath our trunk versus extending too far out. So from the side, right, I'm gonna corkscrew, I'm gonna keep nice and stable here with this, with my trunk, right? This back foot, or back knee is gonna drop kind of right underneath, right? My trunk is if I was in like a half kneeling position. I'm gonna hinge slightly forward, chest kind of over that thigh, so I can get more glute, okay? So we're here. Cool. Curtsy, I don't know if you're a dancer, ballerina, whatever it was, we're just gonna do curtsy. So for those of us that have a curtsy in our programming, really pay attention to that front knee position, drive it out. And then we wanna think about, we're coming across and back. So the knee or the leg that's coming back, that knee should line up behind the heel of your front leg or outside of it, ideally, okay? So if I'm here, right, here's my curtsy, and then I can come back up. So that back leg, okay, is crossing over, hopefully, to the outside, right, of my heel, okay? Again, I'm hinging forward. I'm watching that knee position, making sure it's not diving in. That even kind of hurts, okay? But this is really gonna load up that glute. If that doesn't feel good, you're just doing a reverse lunge. Perfectly fine. Cool, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.